Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the video is officially here. I will be predicting the Washington Commanders 53-man roster, as we're going to get the official one tomorrow. So I decided to put out what I think is going to happen. Not what I want to happen, but what I think will happen. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel about the Washington Commanders or the NFL. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers. Please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. I'm running the Turbo Clone Jersey giveaway. To be entered in the giveaway, all you got to do is be a subscriber of the channel, and you got a chance to win a free Terry jersey. And of course, do not be upset or mad that you don't win this go round. I'm doing giveaways all season long. Next week, I might do a Jahan jump. So just because you lose this one, don't be pissed. Now that out of the way, let's get straight to it.
After 20 years, you know we back on. No one Snyder, one McLaurin, one forward with the passion, you know we scoring. FedEx field back lit, no it is not boring. John Allen lead the troops, yeah you know we storming. Burgundy and gold in my veins, yeah I bleed that. St. Jude saw the ball, grab a pig, yeah I need that.
So 53-man roster. This was a little bit challenging in some parts. Some other parts I understood and already knew what they were going to do, and I could have told you that months ago, right? But after the last preseason game, there was some guys where I'm like, all right now, I initially had y'all making a roster, but I don't anymore. Or I'm like, yeah, he definitely was making his roster. I saw him peak a little bit a couple weeks ago, but now he definitely making his roster. So let's go ahead, waste no more time, get straight to it. So 53-man roster prediction. Offense, we start with them. Two quarterbacks, Sam Jacoby said, obviously, we know those guys was making this roster. Jake Fromm, he actually played really well in the preseason and surprised me, but I don't think he played well enough to, you know, take up another quarterback position spot on the roster, especially since, you know, you can call up quarterbacks on game days as emergency guys, so you don't really need to waste a spot on a guy like Jake Fromm. But shout out to Jake Fromm, had a hell of a preseason. Running backs, as painfully as this makes me, this makes me, because I can't put them up here because they just released them. I wanted Jared Patterson to be up here, but you know, they ain't never going to show my boy no love. So I got them keeping 3 running backs, Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson, and Chris Rodriguez Jr. Love the 3 backs, man. Love Brian Robinson. Man, he said he never felt like himself at all last year, and he still ran for nearly 900 yards. So could you imagine what a fully healthy Brian Robinson looked like? That is going to be scary for the rest of the NFL. And then you got Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson, obviously we know, going to be thrusted into a new role where he's used more of a wide receiver, the weapon like he was supposed to be used coming out of Memphis. So love what we're going to potentially get from AG, and we saw a little bit of that in the preseason, split out wide, running a post from out the backfield. EB going to get real creative with him, and I would not be surprised if he's the guy that benefits the most from Eric Bieniemy's offense. Next guy, Chris Rodriguez, rookie. Love Chris Rodriguez. I believe he was my favorite draft pick. I think it was between him and Ricky Stromberg as my favorite draft picks from this past year's draft. And I love what I seen from him, that bowling ball guy, that Brian Robinson, Bill Cowell-esque kind of guy that can take over when Brian Robinson needs a breather. Obviously, he had a fumble in the preseason this year, but everybody fumbles here and there. Just let's just hope that this doesn't turn into an issue, and it's just something that just happened right then and there. Because after that, he held the ball up tight and he started running angry. So those are my 3 backs I got making a roster. I got us keeping 7 receivers. Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dodson, Curtis Samuel, De'Ami Brown, obviously locked, okay? Clearly. And then after that, I got Byron Pringle, and I got Mitchell Tinsley. I know a lot of people don't think Mitchell Tinsley is going to make this roster, but I think he is, because I feel as though people are starting to know Mitchell Tinsley's name a little bit around the NFL, and if you expose him to waivers, you may not get him back. So he may not be as easy to sneak onto the practice squad as you may think, or as it may seem. You know what I'm saying? Because don't be surprised if another team poach him off your roster. So I think to play it safe, you had that 7 wide receiver spot filled by Mitchell Tinsley. Now, if he does make it to the practice squad, and nobody picks him up, that in my opinion, that'd be crazy that we got him on the practice squad. But I think that's probably where he'll be if he doesn't get the active roster. But I just don't want to chance it. He was too good in the preseason. I know a lot of people saying it was blown coverage. Okay, it was easy touchdowns. Okay, so what? But if he didn't make the play, y'all will be on his case, right? Give Mitchell Tinsley his credit. I think we can have something with him. And we've been hearing it all preseason and all training camp long that this guy is legit. Jahan Dawson, his Penn State boys, spoke highly of him every time they talk about Mitchell Tinsley. He was running with the tools. It's a reason why an undrafted free agent was running with the tools, man. And he looks good. All right. So then next, I got the tight ends: Logan Thomas, Cole Turner, John Bates. I know a lot of y'all think we're going to keep 4 tight ends. For some reason, I could see them keeping Alex Armour, definitely, but my gut is telling me that they're not going to keep Alex Armour. I know a lot of y'all think they are, but I just don't know. I have a weird feeling about it. I just don't think they're going to keep Alex Armour. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you could use John Bates in that Alex Armour kind of role. Is he the best blocker like Alex Armour? No. But if you want to use him in the passing game, I trust John Bates more than I trust Alex Armour. You know what I'm saying? You can get real freaky with an H-back, and I get that. But you can use John Bates in that role instead of having to keep an extra body and taking up an extra roster space. That's what I'm just saying. And I think that's something that they'll probably continue to look at. So I don't have him keeping Alex Armour. I got him keeping 3 tight ends. Then I got the offensive line. I got Charles Leno, Andrew Wiley, Trenton Scott, Cornelius Lucas, Sadiq Charles, Sam Cosmi, Nick Gates, Chris Paul, Tyler Lawson, and Ricky Stromberg. First of all, Sadiq Charles, okay? I remember I was a little frustrated with him early in camp because I'm like, he keeps getting hurt, but I know he can do it. I know he can play. That's the thing with Sadiq Charles. I know he has the talent to be really good in this league and be a real good guard. The thing is, he stays hurt too much. And he started off camp a little bit hurt, but ever since coming back, he has took full control of the starting left guard position. And shout out to Sadiq Charles, man. He's going to be really good as long as he has to stay healthy. Same with Sam Cosmi. Charles Leno, we already know, and Andrew Wiley and Nick Gates are your starters. Trent Scott was a name that really blew up this preseason. He played well in the second and third preseason game, so he's making his roster in my opinion. Braden Daniels, our draft pick, I don't have him up here making it. I haven't seen much from him this training camp and this preseason, so I don't think they're going to make it. He's going to make the active roster. I really don't. But he could, but I just don't see it. I'd rather keep Trent Scott over Braden Daniels. And then obviously, like I said, Chris Paul, real good depth. If you need him to come in for a pinch, he can do that. Trust him. Tyler Lawson, Ricky Stromberg, trust those guys too as far as the depth goes. Ricky Stromberg stands a long ways away, but they wanted to keep him around so he can at least get some type of action. At least, if he has to come in at guard, he can come in and get some type of action. He's not quite ready to take over the center role and probably won't be ready for this whole year. Maybe he'll take over next year or something like that. But I fully trust Nick Gates, man. I didn't know how to feel about a Nick Gates signing at first, but I fully trust him. I love Nick Gates, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love the ferociousness and the nastiness and the physicality he plays with. So now that we have the 53-man roster offense figured out and what I think they're going to do, let's talk about the players that are going to be out that didn't make the roster on the offense side of the ball. So quarterback Jake Fromm, I already mentioned him. Think he's really good as a backup. And he could potentially be that backup next year when Jacoby Brissett leaves. Who knows? He looked really good in the preseason. And this coming from a guy that did not like Jake Fromm. Like I thought Jake Fromm was still the same Giants Jake Fromm, but he was really good this preseason. So he's not making it. Jonathan Williams, Derek Gore, and Jared Patterson, running backs, is not making a roster again. Y'all know how I feel about Jared Patterson. Made a whole video on it. Not going to continue to beat that dead horse. Shout out to JP, man. Hopefully a team picks him up and gives him the opportunity that he deserves, because he deserves to play in this league and build somebody's active roster. We know he'll be on the practice squad if no other team picks him up, though. But hopefully another team gives him his opportunity, because we're tripping. We're loafing, not giving JP his opportunity here. Wide receivers not making it. Casimir Allen, Marcus Kemp, Bryson Tremaine, Kyrick McGowan, Zion Bowens, they're not making this roster. Casimir's going to make the practice squad, obviously, and this is a guy that they gave all the opportunity in the world to make this roster, and he did not take advantage of it, okay? I mean, drop passes, his punting, his return ability was really going to be the reason he made this roster, and he bobbled a punt, you know what I'm saying? He did not look good this preseason, and he'll be around, and maybe next year he'll be much better, but again, this is the reason why I said I wanted Dax Milne, man. He's not exciting to watch, but at least he's going to secure the catch. So a lot of y'all that hate Dax Milne, we could be stuck with that for this year, and that could cost us a game. At least I know with Dax Milne, he's going to give me the ball and give my offensive opportunity to work. You feel me? So tight end, I got Curtis Hodges not making it, Brandon Dillons, Caden Smith, and Alex Armour not making it again. Talking about Alex Armour, I could see them bringing him on, you know, and add him to the roster because they really like him. But I feel like you can get that out of John Bates, to be honest with you. And then that's Curtis Hodges. He was a guy that we kept on IR last year because we thought he was going to be a guy like the Amani Rogers kind of guy. So we didn't want to expose him to nobody else last season. But this year he had his opportunity with injuries at the tight end position to take full advantage of it, and he did not. He disappointed. I don't think he's any good. He's going to make the practice squad. And continue to work. Maybe next year he'll be better, but not what I was expecting from Curtis Hodges at all this year. He this preseason he was not good. And the offensive lines that didn't make it: Braden Daniels, Alex Kangbull, Gerard Jones Smith, Mason Brooks, and Ern Montero, and Nolan Laufenberg. So, two guys that stand out. Obviously, Braden Daniels, draft pick. I think he's going to make the practice squad. They could keep him, but if it was between him and Trent Scott, I think they would probably go with Trent Scott, and they should go with Trent Scott. So I think that's going to be that. And then Mason Brooks, he's another guy that stands out that I think is going to make this practice squad. He could be a guy that you continue to work with, that in a couple years from now, he could be a solid depth guy on your roster. I like what I saw from Mason Brooks at times, but just not quite enough to make this active roster. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now on to the defense here. Defensive line: Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, Fedorian Mathis, John Ridgeway, F.A. Obata, Andre Jones Jr., KJ Henry, Casey Toohill, and James Smith Williams. I'll be honest with you, though. I would rather, at this point, put William Bradley King instead of KJ Henry, but I think they're still going to put KJ Henry in the active roster because they believe in him more than William Bradley King. But KJ Henry didn't really show much. Andre Jones Jr. was the guy that deserved to make the active roster after his preseason performance. But hey, shout out to William Bradley King. Hopefully we can get him on the practice squad, which I think we should be able to, and maybe we have to call him up in a pinch and knock off KJ Henry, because KJ Henry, I want to believe in KJ Henry, you know what I'm saying, but he's just probably not ready. He's a rookie, you know what I'm saying, so maybe he's just not ready this year, and next year he can come back locked and loaded. Because think about it, he's the only guy that we have on our defensive line unit that's under contract post this year, with him and Andre Jones Jr., but, you know, edge rushers wise. Linebackers, we got Cody Barton, Jamin Davis, David Mayo, and Khalil Hudson, the worst unit on our team. Khalil Hudson, in my opinion, and I'm taking this, I don't care how y'all feel about it, I'm saying this is my hot take. Khalil Hudson is our best linebacker. Better than Jamin Davis, better than David Mayo, and better than Cody Barton at this moment. I think Khalil Hudson deserves an opportunity to show what he can do this year, given the snaps, and hopefully Jack Del Rio and the defensive players, defensive coaches, Steve Russ and all those guys, give him his opportunity to shine, because I think he deserves it. He can do it all. And then you got the cornerback position. You got Kendall Fuller, Emmanuel Forbes, Benjamin St. Juste, Quan Mon, Christian Holmes, Danny Johnson to make the cornerback roster. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. I could have told you that months ago that they were going to make this roster. And the same with the safety position: Cam Curl, Derek Force, Percy Butler, and Jeremy Reeves. Now, let's take a look at some of the guys that did not make the roster on the defensive side of the ball. You got Abdullah Anderson, Benning Patel, Joshua Pride, William Bradley King. Again, I feel like William Bradley King should replace KJ Henry, but this is what I think they'll do and not what I'll do. Then you got Isaiah Mack. And then at the linebacker position, you got DeJounte Hurst, Farrah Gardner, Milo Eifler, who they already cut, that being Farrah Gardner. They already cut him. And Rashad Wildgoose at cornerback. Tariq Castro Fields, Nick Whiteside, DJ Strunks, Jace Whitaker, and DeMarcus Forbes as cornerbacks did not make it. Tariq Castro Fields, practice squad him. I think he can come up in the pinch. Rashad Wildgoose, I had high hopes for him this season, but this preseason, but he let me down big time. I'm interested in Tariq Castro Fields now. Keep him around. Again, you can call him up in the pinch. What about Jace Whitaker? I thought he was a safety this whole time, but he's a cornerback. I would definitely keep him around in the practice squad. I liked what I seen from him in the last preseason game. And then safety, Terrell Burgess, Kendall Smith, and Joshua Khalil. Lou don't make the roster. Terrell Boogies is another guy that I would potentially look to keep around because he looked good in the final preseason game too. And yeah, that's it. And now on to the specialists to finish off the video. Obviously, Tress Way, Joey Sly, and Cam Cheeseman. Although Cam Cheeseman has concerned me a little bit with trying to switch up his snap for whatever reason. I don't know why he decided to do that, but he's tried to do that. But they're obviously going to make the roster. Hopefully, by the time week 1 comes around, that operation is going to be clean, and we don't have any missed snaps, fumbled issues back there as a holder, even though I trust Tress Way because I know Tress Way is a GOAT. I hope that operation stays clean because Joey Sly looked good this preseason. Only thing that was concerning me was Cam Cheeseman, and that's honestly the most important because that's the start of the operation. Without Cam Cheeseman's perfect snapping ability, we don't get the perfect hold from Joey Tress Way. We don't get the perfect kick from Joey Sly. So it really starts with Cam Cheeseman. So again, like I said, hopefully they can clean up that operation and it's be ready to go by week 1. So there y'all have it. That is the end of Juan Gotti's 53-man roster for the Washington Commanders prediction. Tomorrow we'll get the official roster and we'll go over it in a video and in a live stream format tomorrow. So hopefully y'all stay tuned for all the content coming to the channel. Let me know what y'all think about it. What is y'all predictions? How do y'all feel about my roster predictions? Leave it down below in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're on the road to 6K and into that tournament clone giveaway. All you got to do to enter the giveaway is to be a subscriber of the channel. It's totally free, and it takes 2 seconds to subscribe. See y'all later on. It's me, your boy Juan Gotti. Peace.